Hey guys, my name is Justin and welcome to Hellsboro, where we care about the design behind designer luxury. And if you do too, make sure to subscribe. Wait, wherever it is. Today's video is going to be something I'm super excited to share. I just want to go through my entire Loewe Studio Ghibli collection. We're sitting here now at the end of this trilogy of collections that Loewe did in collaboration with Studio Ghibli, and I just wanted to kind of give a quick overview of all the pieces that I have. I'm not going to go super into detail because if we did, that video would be like an hour and a half because you guys know I like to talk. But I figured I would break it down by the collection, starting out with My Neighbor Totoro, going into Spirited Away, and then ending with Howl's Moving Castle. But if you wanted a more detailed look, I have a playlist that I can link. I don't know, are we allowed to link up here? It'll be somewhere. And then in there you'll see closer looks of each of the pieces. I even have bag reviews of I think pretty much everything except for my newest bag, but yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm really excited to share this with you guys. It's kind of like the shining jewel of my luxury collection. Growing up as a little nerdy kid who loved Japanese animation in terms of Ghibli and other anime and whatever stuff like that. I'm gonna kind of break down each of these collections into packaging and other freebies, small leather goods and accessories, into clothing, and then finally we're gonna talk about the bags. I hope that you are as excited to see this stuff as I am to share it. So let's get started. Alright, so getting started with the first of the collaboration collections, we have My Neighbor Totoro. Starting with the packaging, so the collection happened in 2021, right? And if you're familiar with US politics at all, the collection dropped on January 6th, 2021. And that's actually when the insurrection happened. So I was really stressed about that, because I still lived in the US at that time. So that's why I really missed out on a lot of the main pieces that I wanted to get from the collab. I was actually really distraught about it. But then I stayed on the hunt, scouring websites. I actually used to own the Soot Sprite balloon bag for just a while, because I was well, I want a bag from this collection, a big bag from this collection. So I bought that, but then when I had the opportunity to pick up a different bag, I was okay, I can let go of that one. And that's where we're at now. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? So in terms of packaging or goodies, any freebies I got, this is all I got. And I didn't actually get this from any of the official things that I bought. I got this from a reseller, which I'm pleasantly surprised that I even have it at all. I didn't expect to get these stickers because I just didn't imagine that they would include them, because it's yeah, why not keep the freebies or whatever. But then the fact that I got these stickers, and I think they're so amazing. Having the Soot Sprites and then having all three of the Totoros. Thank you to whoever resold. So moving on to the small leather goods. This is the card holder, and this is kind of my everyday card holder that I use. I'm kind of lazy where I just take this and throw it in whatever bag, even if it doesn't match. Because I'm whatever. Do I really care? Not enough. The quality of the leather is so good, and the fact that this is my daily driver when it comes to card holder, and it's held up this well. Obviously you can see the shape of the card that I put in there, but it still feels nice and soft. There's no peeling or cracking on any of the edges. It's really hard to see, but it does have the Studio Ghibli stamp in there, and then the detail of the Soot Sprite and then just the eyes on the back. I love that. That's so cute. I think it's so fun. And then the next piece I want to talk about is, they call it the mini pouch, or the mini heel pouch or something like that. You can't really put anything in here besides maybe I don't know, some money, or wait, there's something in here. Dairy pills. And it's a little long on me, so I have it knotted so that when I wear it, it hits my chest where I want it to. But I love this because again, it's the same thing where it's the Soot Sprites with the eyes, and then it's a different textured leather. It's just a fun accessory to just kind of throw on. And the next thing I actually got from a reseller along with one of the bags, and that's why I told myself, I'm okay, I didn't really pay too much extra, because this kind of was just thrown in. I would have paid the amount I paid for just the bag, so then for them to also be oh, here's this. I'm pretty sure that's where I got the stickers from too. I was this is fine. This is an okay deal. I probably only paid a few $100s more because it also was technically used. they said. I'm like, okay, I don't notice anything. I'm almost wondering if it was like an influencer who like used it for pictures and they're like, okay, I'm ready to get rid of it. But it's this Soot Sprite charm. Like, you know, like the Loewe flowers, they have like that shape, but then it's like scaled differently to make it like a circle, and then they attach the eyes onto it. And it's the same kinds of eyes that you see like on any of the other Soot Sprite. I love how I'm like waving down there, but you can't see it. Of like all the Soot Sprite things. But then again, it's just a really nice quality leather. At first I was scared that it was gonna like start falling apart or something, but like I'm really rough with the bag that this is on and this, and it still looks great. So I'm really happy with the quality of basically anything Loewe. Like the craftsmanship is so fun. Like it could have easily been just like a flat thing with like the marquetry on it or something like that. But like the fact that they actually went out of the way and were like, yeah, we're gonna stack this leather. Beautiful piece. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about clothing. So for this one, I wasn't super into the clothing because I also didn't really know Loewe fitting. This was kind of towards the beginning of like my luxury journey. So I just kind of stuck with t-shirts. And honestly, I also misordered on the t-shirts because I couldn't figure it out. But then we have the black Totoro stacked with the Loewe on it. But then what I love is like, sure, this is like a really super like thick print of the big Totoro and the medium one, but then the little baby one with the leaf umbrella, that's completely embroidered. And then the whiskers on the Totoro are also embroidered. And then here we have, on the reverse, him coming down from the back, which I think is so charming. Again, the whiskers are embroidered, and then the little leaf is embroidered as well. I'm not a huge fan of like the type of print. I'm sure they wanted it to like be as high quality and true to like image as possible, so that's why they chose to do this kind of thick print. Still, it's not my favorite. So this is a women's wear shirt, so I had to order this in a large, and it fits. But then for my other shirt, I have the Soot Sprite Loewe one with like the loose embroidery. This is a men's shirt. I ordered this in a large. This one is huge on me now. It used to fit a little bit better, but since I've like slimmed down, it doesn't fit quite as nice as it used to, and I'm like tempted to take it to a tailor, but then I know the tailor would be like, are you serious? You want me to resize a t-shirt for you? But I don't know. I think maybe one day I will. But I just love it because it has like the Soot Sprite replacing the O from Loewe. The eyes are embroidered and it has this like stringiness to it, and you get like a bit of depth, a bit of dimension. And then you even get like a little Loewe monogram embroidered on the back side. And that's really all the clothing that I have. I'm really not like as much of a clothing person. I think because I'm like, still have that mindset of like, oh, clothing doesn't last as long as the accessories, which like, I guess technically they don't, but still, I don't know. You should be fine with buying that stuff. If it's within your price range. Okay, next couple things. I have two bags from this collection. The first one is the heel bag. It's a very like structured bag. I actually take this to like theme parks a lot. Like if I go to Disney or something, I'll wear this. And then everyone will be like, that's the Rowe Animation Studio. And I'll be like, but I do love it because, again, we have the Soot Sprite motif, but then one of the Soot Sprites is actually made with a suede. So then you get a little bit of difference in material. And then, what is this? Oh, fun. There's a Disneyland ticket. Is this California? I think it is. Oh, fun. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, it's Disneyland. Yeah. But then on the inside, again, you have like a little stamp, which is fun. You have a magnet closure, which I think is cool. I almost think you don't need the magnet because the way it, like it fits so smooth with like the curve of the heel. But then I love that it has an included like 3 card slots, and then it's not big enough to really put much in there, but there's space for you to put things in there. And I love that it's convertible. You can wear it as like a shoulder bag or a crossbody, but then you can also make it like a belt bag by using these 2 holes. But, oh yeah, my favorite detail of the bag is there's a little Soot Sprite on the back. I just love the idea of like putting them in places where like maybe you don't expect them to be, or kind of like the forgotten places. Like of course there's like attention here, but then, oh yeah, why not put one on the tab on the back? I just think it's so inventive and so smart. I think this is like a sleeper hit when it comes to like bags. And then of course I couldn't move on to the next collaboration without talking about my Soot Sprite puzzle bag. So this is the size small. In general, puzzle bags I think are some of the best bags around. They're incredibly versatile. very comfortable. The quality of leather is beautiful. And just the fact that I have a bunch of like marquetry details all over is outstanding. I know I said I wouldn't talk about like too many of the details, but I did want to point one out. So of course we have this beautiful tan leather, but then if you notice, like where the zippers open are towards like this side of the bag, right? Like here's a zip, and then here's a zip, and that's actually where the soot sprites are concentrated. So it's kind of like they're coming from that part of the bag where it's like, maybe you leave it a little bit open. It's like, oh yeah, they're like coming out from there. And then of course, like the lining is black. I think like the details and just like the concept surrounding this bag are so strong. I really think that this is one of the best pieces to ever come out of the Loewe Studio Ghibli collab. Full stop. Just conceptually. It makes me like laugh, you know? And I think any bag that gives you a little bit of humor, makes you smile, definitely worth it. So jumping into the Spirited Away collab, let's start off with the packaging. First off, I think it doesn't even count as packaging in a way, because it was like from the Loewe catalog, or the newsletter that they have. I don't know what you call it, a zine. But there's stickers that came with one of them, and it's the products, but I still think it's super cool. And of course there are some like illustration stickers. Oh my god, I'm just looking at this again for the first time in a while. There's some stuff that I missed out on, because like, I don't know how the experience was for you guys if you tried to go through it, but like the website was so janky, it was so slow. But that's the first thing, and I love it. And even like the sticker backing has like the Loewe monogram on it. I think that's super cool. And then next up, so you probably see this like hanging all the time, but like I got a little like tag of like the Susuwatari carrying the rock. I just like him. I think it's cool. It's a very different style from the first one, from the Totoro. And then next up, it is Chihiro underwater when she's meeting that river god. I'm really mad that I didn't get the blanket in Chihiro's face because it was cotton. I would have been able to have it, but you know, whatever. But I do love the sleeve. I do think it's a little, I wouldn't call it lazy, but I do think it's kind of funny that it's just a sleeve instead of the actual box. Like the box is just a regular Loewe box, but then there's a sleeve. But I think my favorite thing from the packaging and like the goodies, whatever, is I got a notebook with Chihiro's face on it. Still haven't used it because I'm afraid to. But when you open it up, you see the Susuwatari with the Kompeto candy. It's like a little like rock candy, but they're kind of crumbly, so you can't chew. I guess you can chew rock candy. I don't know. I'm not here to police you on what kind of ways you eat candy. But then you have more of them there, and then it says, boy, they spirited away. And it's just a nice like dot grid, which is really great for sketching or for writing. I love this. Yeah, and then it's the same on the back. I think this is one of the most iconic scenes from the movie, so I'm really glad I got something from there. I almost forgot, I also have tissue paper, because yes, I'm not insane that I say this. Tissue paper that has the Loewe monogram, and then it has the Soot Sprites, little Susuwatari collecting their Kompeto. I love this. I should probably get this frame, shouldn't I? But yeah, that's gonna do it for packaging. I think I definitely, from Spirited Away, I have the most packaging out of any of the 3 collabs. I'm also really happy with the ones that I got. Like, Chihiro's face and then the Susuwatari, that's it, that's the goal. It's amazing. Okay, and now jumping into like accessories, small leather goods, that kind of thing. I do have this Susuwatari, I think it's called like the coin zip card holder or something like that. It has the Susuwatari in marquetry, but then it has like a printed like arms and legs with the eyes. Then the little Kompeto, those are marquetry, and they're metallic, and I think it's so fun. And then on the black side, we have another Kompeto just chilling. I think it's so fun. I love this kind of like detail on like the small leather goods to show like, hey, you can still do some interesting things with like more basic pieces. I do think I prefer just the flat card holder more, because like when I have this, I just stuff it with stuff, so that I'm like, okay, whatever. But I do still love, I think this is so adorable. And then the only other real accessory I have is the blanket, which I love it and I use it anytime it's cold. And then when it's not cold, I hang it up so I keep looking at it. It's a scene where Chihiro Haku, but as a dragon, the baby as a mouse, and then the bird as a fly, just like chilling outside. I think this is like them like about to leave. They're like, oh my god, our destiny. But I love it because it is a fleece, but then it's like polyester, I think it's like polyviscose, and then it has this like leather piece with like the Loewe Studio Ghibli stamp on it in the lower corner. I know that they made like clothing pieces out of it, and I would have of course loved to have those, but like the added construction of those made those a little bit out of my price range. Not saying that this was anywhere in my price range, but you know, I'm a little sad that I didn't get anything with no face, but like, you know, again, it is what it is. Maybe in the future something will come my way. I feel like I was on like the tail end of buying pieces from this collection because I don't think I got really like as much as I wanted, or the pieces that I like really wanted, but then I did still fall in love with the things that I have, so I'm really glad I was fortunate to get them. But I also didn't have like a sales associate supporting me at the time, so I think that might have to do with it. That being said, I wanted a hoodie because I saw they had the Totoro hoodies with like the long ribbon, so I got one, but it has Otori-Sama. I love when they replaced the O in the Loewe with something. I'm kind of sad they didn't do anything really with it this time, right? But then this one, it's this eye. So dumb. And I love that it's kind of like, it's not actually jacquard. I forgot what they called it. But like the way that it like comes together, it is different pieces of fabric that are like sewn together. So then you get like a little embroidery, you get some depth, you get a little bit of like that detail kind of feel, and the eye's completely embroidery. There's no print on it. I think that's great. And then one thing I love about it is the back. It actually looks like Chihiro's like sweatshirt that she has with like the green stripe going across it. I feel like this was kind of like the catalyst for them to make the Howl's Moving Castle cardigan. That's like the same design as like the coat or jacket that Howl has with like the diamonds. And of course, as much as I love that, kind of wouldn't be complete without my mini puzzle with Otori-Sama. So this is actually my first mini puzzle. I'm not really a mini bag person, but I do love this one. I love that it's a bicolor bag with marquetry details. Yes, there's some printing, but the prints have held up pretty well for me having this bag for like a year. I don't think I use it as much as the other ones just because it has gold hardware, it's white, so I'm a little paranoid about dye transfer, but I do love that like the whole bottom of the bag is green. But still, again, the leather quality of this is so good, and it doesn't smell the same as when it's fresh, but like, it still smells good. This is the one bag that I got. I really like the lantern one that has like the Soot Sprite chilling on the outside, and I would have just carried it like the whole time. But like, so that is everything from Spirited Away. Let's move on. Alright, so moving on to Howl's Moving Castle. I just realized I'm a huge liar, and I definitely have more packaging for Howl's Moving Castle than I do with Spirited Away. I'm like looking at it right now. I'm like, what kind of psycho am I that I like lie about things? On camera, on the internet, on Beyonce's internet. Okay, first off, let's start off with something that I think if you bought something from the Loewe Howl's Moving Castle collab, you got one of these. It's just a little tag that features like the moving castle in flight mode or whatever. And it actually just goes into a little bit of the description of why this film was chosen for it, with some of the stills that are like iconic and featured either on packaging or on products. And I love that. I love that they kind of give an idea of like, why is this collection important together. Second off, so I got a note from my SA, Hannah. You're the best. She doesn't watch these. I got a little envelope that's clouds and then Heen flying. And then it came with a little, again, just I think it's the same note that's inside of those tags about why this collaboration happened. But then, also inside of it, I got a little poster that I said I was going to frame, and I haven't yet. It's just a print of the moving castle, once again in flight mode, with the little monogram up in the corner. But I love it. I'm like, yes, I love things that everyone loves, but also make it luxury. I also love it because it was free. I didn't have to pay for this. I love free things. But then one thing that I guess like an actual piece of like merch, I guess you could call it, that I got from her is a notebook. I already showed this off in the video, but did I? Oh, that was a TikTok. I made a TikTok that flopped, that I just like talked about all this stuff. Oops. But it has the freaking Witch of the Waste. Look at her. She's beautiful. She's glamorous. Timeless elegance. Like, what more could you ask for? That smirk. She knows she's evil, but she loves it. What I actually really love about this notebook is that the backside, it doesn't have her. It's the carriage. It's like actually like the carriage, and you look that way. It's like, oh, it's her. And then you look this way and, oh, she's not looking out the window. Beautiful. Amazing. This, I'm like, I would actually be terrified to write in. And I love how, like, the paper's so heavy. It's, like, very, like, oh, like, this notebook has some weight to it. Next thing I want to talk about, you've probably seen this in the back of my video, even this one, is a box. This is a box that the t-shirt came in. I think this box is beautiful. I love how structured and like how like well constructed these boxes are. And then when you open it, oh yeah, there's also some tissue paper from like Howl's treasure wall or whatever it is. Just a bunch of trinkets. That I want to get framed too. But I just love it. It has the Loewe logo right over the top of the moving castle in its regular street mode. And then on the back, it's a clearer image of it. I love this box. Oh my god. Next up, the box that I think my sweatshirt came in. Sophie kissing Calcifer. I had another one of these, but then that bag actually I did buy for my sister and I shipped it out to her. But again, same that. But it still is like such a high quality, more tissue paper, such a high quality box that I'm like, I want to put these around my house and just want to show it off. I think it's so amazing. But then I would be remiss if I didn't show you my favorite box that I've ever had in my whole life. It has the Witch of the Waste with her smirk. Yes, she's beautiful and she knows it. That's what makes her so problematic. And then of course it has the Loewe logo on the end and you see one side of the carriage as well. It's the same thing on the back side and then you actually get the Loewe Studio Ghibli logo or whatever. But then one thing I just noticed now is picking up this box, you get a blob guy, or I got a blob guy. He's looking pretty creepy. Is there anything in here? No, okay. And I feel like there's magnets in this box. Like that's insane to put magnets in a box. People better be keeping these. If there's like uber rich people who just bought like 50 things from the collection and are like, whatever, I'm gonna trash the boxes. Jail. Non-carceral, but jail. Yeah, so this is making me realize how much packaging and freebies I got from this collab. I think it's because I have an amazing essay. So I just realized right now that I don't actually have any like accessories or small bit goods. I'm a little sad about that, but I'm also like, I already spent enough money and I'm very poor now. But I did get some clothing featuring Calcifer, who's one of my favorite characters from it. So I have this pocket t-shirt with Calcifer, and I love that like you peek it, you pull it down, and he's like, he's peeking out, and now you can see him fully. I think it's so cute, and I love that the white got the red one and the black got the blue. I'm more of a white shirt kind of person. And I love that it has like the Loewe logo on it, but then you pull it down and you get that beautiful embroidery. I think they call it like threads embroidery. But I love how much dimension and like softness it brings. I think I mentioned it in the unboxing or maybe somewhere else. Like he's over your left, which is like where your heart is, and he's like, hello, spoiler alert, but like he ate, or like I guess he did eat Howl's heart, and he like was holding it on to him. I just love that detail. This is one of those pieces where I'm like, that's so smart. I didn't really see that kind of concept in Spirited Away as much, in the same way that like the Soot Sprite bag had, like the placement's very important. And then the other clothing piece I got is this Calcifer embroidered sweatshirt. This is like the most expensive sweatshirt I own, and I hope it will be the most expensive sweatshirt I own for the rest of my life, unless something miraculous happens and I like come into a lot of money, because alright. But I do love the threads embroidery on Calcifer. It's more of like a typical embroidery for the eyes and the mouth, but then I love that it's a print of the background, the movie still. I do love that you get the Loewe on the back, so it's like a Spirit jersey. I'm a Disney adult. I'm a Studio Ghibli adult. Oh my god, I haven't eaten a vegetable in 7 days. I'm just kidding, I like Disney. Also, when I go to Disney, I really don't eat a vegetable for like a week or however long I'm there. 2 days. Okay, I guess that's it. Just kidding. This is my pride and joy. This is my, like, I love my Soot Sprite puzzle. I love that I attach the charm to it, so it's just like Soot Sprite, like 24/7. But this bad boy, I'm so thankful that I was able to nab one of these. I love this piece so much. It's just like a little bucket bag with like a flap top. And like, it's not super versatile at all because you can't really carry it as a top handle. You can't really carry it as crossbody unless maybe you're like super petite. It's really just a shoulder bag. I don't give a flying who gives a whatever. I don't know. I don't feel like cursing right now. The amount of detail on this bag. I have a full bag review. Did I say bag review? Because I meant to say first impression, but the bag review is coming very soon because I've already used this bag quite a lot, so please watch it. It goes into a lot of detail and you get to really get a close-up look at this bag. That's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to offer a close-up view for people who weren't able to see this bag or own this bag. It's my baby. Look at him, so ugly. I know, you're not supposed to call your children ugly, but he is. Alright, well that's my whole Loewe Studio Ghibli collaboration collection. I hope you found this video interesting and gave you like a little look into like my mind, like and the chaos that exists there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do I have too much stuff? I do. I know I have like way too much stuff, but this is kind of like the one luxury thing where I'm like, I need multiple things. And I definitely like acknowledge like this is way more than anyone should ever own, so I fully understand the reality of that. But I mean, let me know if what you guys think. Do you like any of these pieces? Do you have any of these pieces? Are we twins in any way? I would love to find out that we're twins. But yeah, that is all I have for you today. So if you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. It lets me know that you like this kind of content and that you too care about the design behind designer luxury. Until next time, Tonari no Totoro, 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 this part's in Japanese. I guess the other part that I know is also in Japanese, but this part is more Japanese that I don't know. Thank you. Thank you.